The food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. The food that we find most satisfying. The food that we find that sticks to our ribs. The food that we call down home. Or food that we learn to eat in the quarters. And yet we dare say that we have escaped slavery. The food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. The food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. The food do you eat? You say soul food?
Hey, what's up? What's happening? What's up, everybody? Meatless Monday Motivation. And I'm Damon K. Jones. And we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And we are about to go live. We are now live. We are now live on Instagram. Yes, we are now live on. We are now live on Instagram. So, peace and blessings, everybody. Meatless Monday Motivation. And today, I am actually talking out of a chapter in my book about protein, about the difference of meat protein and vegetable protein, and why a restaurant and you order a salad and they say, would you like protein with that? And you say, well, what protein do you have? And they say chicken, and they say meat, and they say fish, but they don't say lentils, they don't say red beans, they don't say chickpeas, they don't say none of those things that are plant-based and actually have protein. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I wrote an article on Black Westchester magazine, and I talked about the myth of, I don't know why I can't find it now, the myth that vegetables do not have protein. Now, if we want to, first of all, we eat, those who eat meat, right, and say they're eating meat for the protein. And they're eating a nice steak. So that steak comes from a cow. What does the cow eat? What does the cow eat? The cow eats plants. If the cow wasn't eating the proper food, then how would he be able to produce protein? So vegetables not having meat is actually a false narrative. And it has been proven that it's a false narrative. So you don't have to have meat to get protein. Now, I will say, that the protein that's in vegetables is not, unless depending on what you eat. If you eat lentils and beans, stuff like that, they're up there with actual meat. There's a list here, and for those who are watching on Instagram, you will not be able to see the list, but I will read it out. If you want to go over to YouTube, I'm live on YouTube. Damon K. Jones. Putting up a list here on vegetable protein, right? You got grains, Saratin, quinoa is a great, rolled oats, buckwheat, rice. Then when you have seeds, when you're dealing with protein, hemp seed, pumpkin seed, sunflower seed, flax seed, sesame seed, chia seeds, those are great things that you could put on your salad. You could put on you could put on your food. You could put it in your smoothie and get protein. Nuts, almonds, cashews, walnuts, hazelnuts, pecans. Those are great sources of protein. You have beans, lentil, kidney beans, mung beans, black beans, lima beans, chickpeas, green peas. All these are high in protein. So if you look at kidney beans, 24 grams. So you eat a bowl of kidney beans, you have the same amount of protein in a steak. Same amount of protein in a steak. And your body won't work as hard to digest beans as they will meat. And that's very important. Meat does a lot of damage to our intestines, and our bodies trying to eat. I always, I'm a salad dude, right? I like salads. I like to have salads, and I think that's the best way to be healthy. So I eat a lot of salads because I like a lot of raw foods. But let's just take, first of all, let's understand that Black Americans are 1.5 to 2.2 times more likely than whites to have chronic diseases. Black children are disproportionately affected by racial ethnic health disparities. Between 1960 and 2005, the percentage of children with chronic diseases in the United States almost quadrupled, with Black youth having a higher likelihood for these diseases. The most common major chronic diseases of Black youth in the United States are asthma, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, dental disease, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, mental illness, cancer, sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, and a various genetic or other disabilities. So if we look at our diet and we look at a lot of these issues that we have that was found in Black youth, can be changed through their diet. I just posted a video of a young brother out in Atlanta who I just posted a young video of a brother out in Atlanta who has a private school. He has a boarding school for young Black men, and he was saying one of his students was diagnosed ADHD. And he noticed after giving the medication, the boy was acting a little sluggish and slower than he was with the medication. And he talked to his mother, and he told his mother that he didn't feel the boy needed the medication. So for the whole year, the boy went out without medication, But what did he do? He changed his diet, he exercised. They kept the young boy busy burning energy. And they're putting a lot of young Black kids on these type of medications, and they're putting a lot of Black adults on medication when the only thing they have to do is change their diet. That's it. That's all they have to do is change their diet and exercise a little bit and pay attention to their body. So let's look at a simple salad, right? What's in a, like I said, I like to make salads. So, but what's in a salad? You say, oh man, ain't nothing in a salad. Salad is packed with all you need to attain optimal health and wellness. Everything we need is in one bowl of salad. So let's break it. Let's break it salad. We're going to break a salad down. Leafy greens. Leafy green vegetables are an essential part of a healthy diet. They are packed with vitamin, minerals, fiber, and they're low in calories. Eating diet rich in leafy greens can offer numerous health benefits, including reduced risk of obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, and mental decline. That's just eating leafy greens all the time. Tomatoes. The antioxidant lycopene is a primary dietary source that has been linked to many health benefits, including reduced heart disease and cancer risk. They are also a great source of vitamin C, potassium, folate, and vitamin K. That's in a tomato. That's in a tomato. And I'm going to go on. These are all the things that's in a diet. I mean, a salad. You got onions in your salad. Onions have several health benefits, primarily due to the high antioxidants and sulfur-containing compounds. They have an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects and have been linked to reduce cancer, lower blood sugar levels, and improve bone health. How about y'all like cucumbers in your salad? Cucumbers are low in calorie, but they also contain essential vitamin and minerals and even water content. Eating cucumbers may lead to many potential health benefits, including weight loss, balanced hydration, digestive regularity, and lower blood sugar levels. Chia seeds. Chia seeds contain a large amount of fiber and omega-3 fatty acids, plenty of high-quality protein. There's some protein there, and several essential minerals and antioxidants. Chia seeds may improve digestive health, blood levels, and heart-healthy omega-3s and rich factors for heart disease and diabetes. What about mushrooms? Mushrooms are rich, low-calorie source of fiber, protein, and antioxidants. They may also mitigate the risk of developing severe health conditions such as Alzheimer's, heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. They are also excellent source of cell. I always mess this word up. Selenium. Are y'all seeing the connection? Are y'all making the connection? Legumes and beans. They are typically low in fat, contain no cholesterol. They are high in folate, potassium, iron, and magnesium. They also contain beneficial fats and fiber. A good protein source. Legumes can be a healthy substitute for meat, which has more fat and cholesterol. That's all in a salad. So if we're eating a salad twice a day, you're literally fighting chronic illnesses just from a salad. So imagine if you're eating a salad and then you're grilling some vegetables, different types of vegetables, and that's just in the salad. And that's why it's so important when you go to the doctor, and I said this last night, it's so important when you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you that you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, even borderline diabetic, or you have diabetes, or you're obese. If you're overweight and obese and you don't have those things, you will have them. You will have them. You will have some type. You will get one of them. Hey, what's up, Sister Dawn? How you doing? Good evening. You will get one of them. So the goal is, when you go to the doctor and he tells you that, you have to exercise. You have to lose weight. You have to change your diet. If not for you, for your family. For your family. Like, I mean, it becomes almost selfish that when people hear when people hear that they have these chronic illnesses and they do nothing about it. Fellas, man, you get that ED, erectile dysfunction. That would not come from having it will come from having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and being a type 2, and it also come from the medication that you take. But then you go back to the doctor and you get another pill. You get Viagra. And you keep taking medications that treat the symptoms, but not treat the problem. Because that's all medication does. It just treats the problem. It doesn't treat the symptom. It treats the symptom. It doesn't treat the cause. So I think, and sisters, if you got to lose weight, you got to lose weight. Oh man, I don't want to lose my butt. Then work out, get in the gym and build some muscle. Get rid of the fat and build muscle. But we have to start working out, and we have to start taking care of our body, especially in the Black community. And we have to change how we look at food. And a lot of times we don't want to change how we look at food. And that's not good. So we have to understand and look at food differently, and see how we could adapt and change. Because it all affects us. I totally believe when you get to the point, especially with diabetes, and you start getting the tingling and the nerve damage, the tingling. I had one lady, I heard a nurse or a doctor over the phone tell somebody, that when you get those tingly feelings in your hands and the feet, it will never go away. And that's not true. If you change your diet, your body will heal itself. Look at Mayor Eric Adams. He was fighting diabetes. He literally went blind, totally blind in one eye, and was losing sight in the other. And he went strictly a plant-based diet, and his eyesight came back. His eyesight came back. You don't have to believe me. Just Google it. He talks about it openly. And we have to take eating very serious. It's nothing wrong with splurging here and there. But overall, what you put in your body should be balanced. It shouldn't be fast food every day. It shouldn't be Uber eating every day. It should be sitting down, making a meal, and feeding your body. Because you only got one. It ain't like a car. You could run it down. You cannot take care of it. You cannot change the oil. And you can say, you know what? I'm going to buy another car. This is your body. You can't do that. You can't do that at all. So I wanted to put up another screen. Peace and blessings to everybody that's on Instagram. If you can't see the screen, you're not going to be able to see the screen that I'm putting up, but I'm live on YouTube and Facebook. And we are talking about the myth of fruits and vegetables, well, mainly vegetables, not having protein. And when people say that there is not enough protein in vegetables, that is a fallacy. You don't have to eat meat to get protein in your body. But let's look at this. The dangers of processed meat. If you're watching, this is a list. The dangers of processed meat. Higher stroke risk. A 2012 American Heart Association study linked stroke risk to processed meat consumption, with increasing by 13% for every daily serving. So every time you eat processed meat, you're increasing your risk of a stroke. Increased risk of death. A 2013 study by the American Journal of the 2013 study reported that the processed meat products are linked to increased risk of death. So, I mean, it is what it is. Processed meat doubles the risk of lung disease. A 2007 study found that men who eat processed meat daily have more than double the risk of developing lung disease compared with men who rarely or never eat processed meat. Now, I would love to see the lung disease study compared to smoking. That's what I would one day. I'm gonna try to compare that. Because we recently had a big push, and they still have a big push to ban menthol cigarettes, and to the fact that they didn't want to ban all cigarettes, they just wanted to ban menthol cigarettes, and we opposed it because we said it would adversely affect Black community. If you're going to ban cigarettes, you ban them all, not just menthol. But their whole thing that they were saying that they were saving lives, and it will save people from not having lung disease. But here's a report here saying if you eat meat, you double the risk of having lung disease. But nobody is marching to ban meat, and meat causes lung disease. Double the risk of heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. Processed meat. You eat processed meat, you double the risk of heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. A 2014 Harvard study found that processed meat raises women's risk of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. And 2012 British Medical Journal Open study linked processed meat consumption to increased risk of heart disease. So sisters, processed meat, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes in women. So increased risk of colon cancer and early death. 2013 American Cancer Society found that colon cancer survivors who consume the most red or processed meat are most likely to die over a 7.5-year follow-up. And I'm going to have a friend of mine come on one of the Meatless Mondays who is a cancer survivor. And he's going to talk about what he went through being a cancer survivor. And I think, we don't talk about that enough. Dangers of processed meat, increased risk of bladder cancer. A 2010 study found that consumption of processed meat increases risk of bladder cancer. Dangers of processed meat. Increased risk of prostate cancer. A 2009 study found that processed meat increases prostate cancer risk. Every 10 grams of processed meat consumed raises processed risk by 10%. A 2013 Harvard study found that men who consume the most processed meat have more abnormalities in sperm count, size, and shape. So, y'all fellas eating that processed meat and you having messed up sperm, getting these women pregnant, and you wonder why your kids look crazy. Because your sperm is abnormal. That's serious. That's very serious. I always say with I always say with sisters, man, before you have children with these dudes, man, you need to see their health history. You need to know if they're healthy or not. Find out how healthy they are. Because you never know. You never know. Fellas, man, like that report right there, they ain't gotta worry about me eating no meat no more. You know what I'm saying, Dawn? You ain't gotta worry about me eating no meat. If they tell me eating meat mess up my sperm count, well, I'm 55. I ain't worried about that. But if I'm in my 40s, I ain't messing with no meat. But these are the things, nobody talks about because You know, they make all that stuff taste good. As Dr. Amos said, it tastes good, smells good, it's packaged right. And the only thing we gotta do sometimes is just eat a salad. Eat a salad. And you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You know? But if you want to read more, definitely get my book. It's on Amazon. Empowering Benefits of Detox, Cleansing, and Eating Clean. And I hope we had great information. And everybody can check it out. I don't even know if anybody's watching on YouTube. Can't even tell. Can't even tell. But definitely next week we're gonna have my brother to talk about his book signing on July 8th at the Mount Vernon Public Library. My brother, Dr. Cedric, 7 steps to prevent chronic disease. We're gonna talk about his 7 steps to prevent chronic disease. He's a good brother, and he wants to see people be healthy. And I think we're having a big health forum at the county center, and maybe he could update us on that, if that's happening or not. But definitely, those who are watching on Instagram, if you want to see the on Facebook or on YouTube. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you. This is just real quick. You know, we have real quick conversations. Meatless Monday and motivation, just to have the discussion and give people information to go about the rest of their week being mindful of what they eat. Being mindful of what they eat. Thank you, sis. And definitely tune in next week for Dr. Cedric. As I said, he's a great brother. He's doing a lot of good things. He's doing a lot of good things in the community for health and wellness. And we're also July 8th, save the date, for Mount Vernon, where we're gonna have a deeper conversation with him and have a book signing. So I want to thank everybody. If you don't have any questions, I don't see any questions. We're going to sign up out. So if you got any questions and you're watching, please let me know. Let me try to see if anybody, if I could see any comments. Let me try to see. Trying to see any comments on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, and you got any comments on YouTube, if you got any comments, please or any questions, please put it in there. If not, we are about to sign out. We're about to sign out. So everybody have peace and blessings. Remember, God is in your vegetables. Next week is Dr. Cedric. And I hope you could use this information. I hope you could use the information. Peace.
What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. The food that we find most satisfying. The food that we find that sticks to our ribs. The food that we call down home. Or food that we learn to eat in the quarters. And yet we dare say that we have escaped slavery. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul